Hey Zalivas, this is SuperZomgbBBQ, and today we are celebrating because finally, after 18 months plus of frustration and toiling and begging, SuperCard are finally bringing in a third event into the cycle. It will no longer be just Road to Glory, Ring Domination, Road to Glory, Ring Domination. Now we've got Last Man Standing, LMS, as I'm sure a lot of people are now going to refer to it to. It's part PCC, part Ring Domination, part Team Battleground. It literally is just a lot of ideas, plus there's some new stuff as well, and it's really interesting. I am really looking forward to all of the details that we're about to see. It was revealed about 4 or 5 weeks ago to a select group of YouTube content creators and press over in Seattle at Cat Daddy Studios. I wasn't party to that group, but the people who were are linked into the description below. You should definitely go check those out, and that includes Lucha Maniac, includes Macho T as well, and Tony Pizza Guy, who, whilst I don't have any footage on here, he did provide me with a lot of insight into just how this gameplay works when the embargo went up today. But before we get into anything too deep, make sure that you like this video if you are hyped about this event, if you're liking all the details, all of the information about the event. I mean, personally, I think this is a great mix, but you know, it's all going to be proof in the pudding, how the gameplay actually works, how the mode is going to reward people, if it's going to be worth the rewards. You know, there's a lot of things riding on this. How will you get picks and stuff, because there's no board on it. There's lots of things to be answered at this point. How will you get charges, energies, etc. Whilst you're there, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the first ever gameplay, which is going to be coming up on Thursday. Well, first live gameplay anyway, you know, when people are actually facing people. And also don't forget to turn your notifications on whilst you are there. Last Man Standing, here is the press release from WWE SuperCard. And they say it's been a while since we added a brand new event to the WWE SuperCard rotation. Yeah, no kidding. While Road to Glory and Ring Domination are still going strong, like Roman strong, we felt it was time to shake things up a little bit, but we wanted to do it right. We wanted to make an impact. We wanted to make something bold, exciting, invigorating, something of heroic proportions. With that in mind, we are proud to introduce Last Man Standing with a pretty amazing image of Triple H with his sledgehammer. I don't know what he's going to do with that sledgehammer, but whatever it is, it's not going to be very nice. Fact of the matter is that image looks great. It's the whole thing is based on like a burned down city. It looks almost like the 2K17 kind of design of Suplex City, but overall the entire thing looks great. There's an Inferno match kind of feel to some of the arenas, the different arenas in the game. There's a brand new arena which looks absolutely amazing. They could turn this into a straight up pay-per-view concept if they wanted to. And we've got some screenshots here. So first of all, Last Man Standing is a solo event focused on clearing progressively more challenging arenas while simultaneously competing against other top players on a leaderboard. Using a new deck focused on your top 12 cards, you'll be placed in an arena with up to 25 cards. And this is where I come in with the bits and pieces I know. There is no more green deck, no more white deck. You can't use a deck that's completely manufactured to win. It's based on your deck, and you've got your best females, your best males, and everything's chosen at random. Everyone's got the same chance of winning. You'll then choose 6 of those cards, put them into the deck, and as you can see in the gameplay that's showing up onto my my right hand side, but your left hand side, you will see that it's not just as simple as just tapping on a screen all the time. There's a lot more to it. See hearts, you'll see purchases you can make, like block, multiplier, you got reveals, you've got no bouts in this, so you just play a game and just keep going, keep going, keep going. You'll have slight timeout periods and cooldown periods where the gameplay will stop for a while, but most of the time you should keep playing all the time. The arenas go from 1 to up to 100 from the rewards I've seen, and it looks like they're kind of PvP based rewards, where the higher you go and the higher the arena you get to, the more likelihood it is you're going to start packing some cards that are really, really nice, like WrestleMania 34 cards, Titan cards, etc. I mentioned about not being as simple as just tapping on a board, and I was not joking. You will have to go around obstacles, make sure to try and get yourself out of situations where you could potentially be negatively affected by, I don't know, a table or a fire extinguisher flying at you, or damaging your superstars against losing against superstars. You can get streaks in the game as well, and hopefully this will all make sense eventually, and we'll go into things in a lot more detail. But let's continue. Once you're in an arena, so you start arena 1, you go all the way up, I believe, to arena 100, start flipping over cards in search of an opponent. And you can see in the gameplay that there are cards which you flip over, and you get yourself either an opponent, a obstacle, or something else. And when you find one, you'll battle it out in a quick match, earning points if you win, which if you use a multiplier will then be multiplied. Be careful though, if you lose or bump into an obstacle, you'll lose one of your precious hearts. And if you lose all of your hearts, well, it's game over. It's not game over, so you go back down to 1, but your current streak will be over, your arenas will be done, and you'll have to start back from the very basic rewards and build yourself up again and again and again. Now, don't fear, because your points can be banked, and that means you get to collect your points up until the time where you're really not confident about collecting it much further without potentially losing a life, or you can block your hearts from being destroyed or damaged in any way, shape or form, in your life then being taken off and your points being removed entirely. Again, I'm trying to make this as simple as I possibly can, but there's a lot to go through. And you can bank those points into your total points, which then go on to a leaderboard, and that leaderboard then gives you a special card based on your rank. This goes for number 1, number 2, 3 to 5, 100 to whatever, and it just literally goes all the way along the leaderboard. And as far as I'm aware, I believe that there's anything up to 30,000 people will be able to get access to the image on the card. For example, Triple H or Braun Strowman. So if you're not really fancying playing that week, and maybe you're busy, maybe you're going on a holiday or something, you don't have to worry too much. You can just play it, get the image, and take that week off if you want to. That's one of the best benefits about Last Man Standing, is if you need to go and live your life and do things, you can do that without this having negatively affected you too much. However, the next bit that comes in is how freaking overpowered the cards are, which we'll talk about in just a second. If you clear a board, then you'll move on to the next arena. So I mentioned arena 1, arena 2, arena 3, and every arena you go to is going to be more challenging, have more obstructions, until you go back to arena 1 again. Additionally, rewards are handed out for clearing an arena, and you'll gain more points per win in the next one. So the more arenas you go up, the more points you're going to get. So you might only get 1 point for arena 1, you get 2 points for arena 2, 24 for 24, and so on and so forth with your multipliers, your streaks. You can risk your streak and increase the amount of points you get. It just goes on and on and on. We got a screenshot there that shows you the bank points and press your luck section, so you're not going to be too confused. Once you start playing this, everything seemingly is going to make a lot more sense. And just by watching the gameplay, everything looks much better. It says, think what you have to dominate the competition. Well, the leaderboard will show everyone just how good you are in Last Man Standing. To earn the event card, players will need to place high enough on the leaderboard. So it looks like, from what I've seen from the videos, the top 30,000 will get access to the event card, and that gives it its PCC attraction. So the best of the best of the best pushing forward. Obviously the heroic cards are going to massively help, but talking about heroic cards, interesting point. Yeah, these cards that you're going to get from this event card, this special Triple H card, whatever it's going to be, Braun Strowman, is going to be OP as hell. And that's very interesting, because not only does that raise questions about how high the next tier is going to go points wise, or how good the next card is going to be, for example, the next set of event cards are going to be, but it automatically puts a big dampener on the heroic pros, because some of those heroic pros are going to be massively outscored. And this is something a lot of players have been asking for, is that for their effort, their time, their dedication, the credits they're spending to really go towards something that's going to be much better than if you were just to play a standard Road to Glory, a standard Ring Domination. And it seems like these cards are going to be more powerful if you rank high enough. than a standard, for example, Heroic Pro, or a Half Heroic Pro, or a normal event card. The days are gone in WWE SuperCard where simply just getting an event card is enough. Now you're going to have to really play much better to be the elite of the elite of the elite. Then says about achieving a specific rank in the leaderboard will earn an event card in Last Man Standing. We've already mentioned that each subsequent band of ranks to a specific point will have an event card with power levels. The higher you climb, the better your card. So that's the very, very interesting part. A player's event card will reflect his or her position or the leaderboard once Last Man Standing ends. Keep in mind, however, there are no pros or heroics for Last Man Standing, and that's a very interesting point. There is no pro. Don't play a second Last Man Standing event. Once Last Man Standing's done, we go back to RTG Ring Domination, and then you go Last Man Standing, RTG Ring Domination, which means that you're going to get a pro level heroic style card based on how well you rank. Literally within one event, you're going to do amazingly well. The highest ranks will be stronger than the heroic event pros earned for Ring Domination and Road to Glory. It also gives people the opportunity of not having to be beaten left, right, and center, black and blue by the people who buy throwback cards or buy the next special fusion event, for example. And you'll see some examples here of the different ranking systems. So you've got number 1 Triple H. Now these rewards are not going to be final. You've got Last Man Standing Triple H for the 100, and the tiers slightly less for that. And the 27,000 odd, which is going down to 30k, where the stats are much less, but you still get access to the event card and the reward that you're after. It goes on to say about the first Last Man Standing event starting on Thursday, April the 19th, and it ends on Sunday, April the 22nd, where it then rolls around every 3 weeks. Last Man Standing is all about fierce competition, about rising to the top, smashing your opponents and climbing the leaderboard, showing you're the best. You think what you have, what it takes? Prove it. It seems like the game's really moving towards I don't know, like it's not based on skill, because let's be honest, it's a card game, it's not going to be based on skill, but this seems like there's going to be a lot more required of it than just standard, and that's one of the biggest problems that I think PCC had back in the day. Now, a lot of people who are harder core players, the more dedicated players, are going to absolutely eat this mode up. They're going to be the kind of players who get every event card, get every single heroic upgrade. They're going to love this kind of thing because they're going to be playing a lot and they're going to get lots of benefits. But I think one of the things that I love about this is that it's not just about being the best. You can, if you want to, it seems, have a lower down deck and still do just as well if you play the game right. And it's going to be about strategy, pushing yourself to the limit. It's not just going to be about how well can you do in a certain space period of time, and how much time do you have on your hands, and how much money you have. Sure, credits are going to play into it, but from the gameplay I've seen, those purchases are very limited, and if you don't use those purchases right, you could be throwing effectively credits down the drain. So you want to be very careful about how you use this. You're going to want to make sure your cards are leveled up, and the fact you can't do any green decks or use crazy supports anymore, where you had like Vince McMahon or Passy Freddy Blassie, what they do in PvP and stuff, where people use like all green decks on one overpowered card. You can't do that anymore. That's what I love about this. It's great. The gameplay looks fun as well. The arenas change as you go from one event to another. So every time you go from the arena 1, you're going to have absolutely nothing. You're going to have no fire around the ring. You get to like arena 25 and there'll be fire. There'll be an inferno going around the ring. Every time you go into a more challenging arena, the effects of the ring is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and harsher and harsher and harsher. Ultimately though, at the end of the event, you will then get a card based on your rank, which could be any of those cards I showed you earlier on. It does look like it's going to be Triple H is going to be the event card, but then again, they've got Braun Strowman in game, and it looked like Braun Strowman was going to be the event card in the leaks that came out only a week or two ago, so it could be anything. And as I said, this starts on Thursday, so you've got a couple of days to prepare. Get yourself that Flash Ring Domination AJ Styles, because you will want to be phenomenal for this one. That was really cringy. But anyway, you guys know what I mean. Just make sure you got the best deck possible, and then hopefully when you push forward to get yourself the next event cards. I mean, I don't know if you're going to even be playing people or you're going to be playing bots or whatever, you know. We don't know what's going to be happening at this point. But that is it from me. Thank you all so much for watching this upload. Remember to smash the like button, as I said earlier on. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to Luge, Macho T, and Tony Pizza Guy. All the details are in the description and comment section below. And turn your notifications on whilst you're there. Until next time, though, I'm SuperZombGBBQ. I'm hyped up for this event. Let you know what your comments are in the comment section below. One last thing. That is 2. Sonic!